Yo, what's going on, fam? In today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and strange TikToks that will make you question reality.
Wouldn't it be crazy if back in the 2008 mortgage collapse, a lot of the banks which received bailouts were heavily funded by a little company known as BlackRock? And wouldn't it also be kind of crazy if the person the government put in charge of managing the bailout money was Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock? And wouldn't it be crazy if one of the biggest proponents and advocates of subprime mortgage-backed securities was, you guessed it, ding, 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 Larry Fink again? So, and stay with me here, I guess it'd be kind of crazy if the US government paid Larry Fink to give himself a bunch of money? Sorry, let me rephrase. He gave Larry Fink taxpayer money, your money, as a reward for completely decimating the economy. Seems fair. Honestly, that's about right. Yeah.
That's how we operate in America.
Bro, I saw that last night. And I was just like, what? Because first of all, she said that I guess they do this on a regular, right? But she said that they was trying to transport one mermaid that was with all the shits, bro. They said that she was trying to fight back and all that. That's why I was like, okay, hold on. Let me listen. Let me go and keep up with her. So if y'all haven't seen this lady, go look her up. I don't even know her screen name by heart. But she said that the mermaid was trying to fight back so hard that she was trying to claw her way out. I guess they had her in a crate or something. She said when the mermaid was trying to crawl out, they smashed the box down and chopped the mermaid fingers off. And then they said once the people got there, I guess the fishermen were just like, I can't do this. This is not the type of lifestyle I'm trying to live. And the dude was like, I guess the captain was like, this is not something that you can just drop out of, bro. Like, you're already too deep in the rabbit hole for this. So then tell me why he opens the crate and one of her fingers had regenerated already, which means that mermaids can self-regenerate. Go to this lady's page. It's crazy work.
Where the hell are we right now? Because allegedly people are eating mermaids. So it's a video going around right now of this guy basically saying that he just came home from jail. He needed some money. So what did he do? He got with a fisherman crew. Now, when he got with this fisherman crew, he thought that this fisherman crew was just catching big game, exotic fish, rare fish that people never hear about. But he was soon to find out that they were allegedly catching mermaids. And I say allegedly because allegedly mermaids aren't real. This guy went on to say that they caught mermaids, allegedly, and sold them to the rich, allegedly. And these rich people that bought the mermaids used these mermaids for dinner, allegedly. So this same guy said that he earned their trust. He was around them for years upon years, until one day he received a letter in the mail. And in that letter, it said that he was invited to a party, a non-disclosed party, a celebrity party, an elite party. And this shit is freaking me out. In that same letter that he received, it said that he will be able to taste some type of food that only the elite taste. Something that was so expensive that most people can't eat it. So this man got invited to this party, had to sign an NDA, and when he gets to this party, these people allegedly are eating mermaids. I keep saying this, 2025 keeps showing us more and more shit. This shit is becoming the movie of all movies because, once again, allegedly, mermaids are real. This ain't a fairy tale now. This shit is really happening in real time.
How many other people out there have always believed that mermaids were real? Man, I think mermaids have definitely been out there. If you look at any of the old gods, right? It's like depictions of mermaids back in the day. You can even look at like Starbucks, for instance. Go look at the Starbucks logo and then tell me if you believe mermaids are real or not.
Did anybody else end up on rich people eat mermaids TikTok today? I know I do videos on news and a lot of conspiracy stuff too, but I don't really know how to react to this one. I always love watching videos of boat captains who say they saw sirens or heard mermaids out in the ocean. But I don't know if this one mixed in with the Q conspiracies of the elites eating people and stuff. And then that somehow mixed into rich people eating mermaids. Maybe some Hollywood cannibals or pescatarians. But it was just one video that popped up on my feed. But then after a while, it was video after video of, I guess, maybe people talking about that one video. But now I can't seem to get off of rich people eating mermaids TikTok, which is definitely a statement I never thought I would say. But with the absolute shit show that's going on in Washington right now, I guess this is a good, change of pace from my normal content. I could definitely talk about how bad it is there. I kind of want to research this whole rich people eating mermaids conspiracy and do a little deep dive for y'all. So maybe get ready for that.
And what's up with the pyramid head? Long Island on fire now? There's fires everywhere.
This fire at its largest, which is now still burning, is 2 miles long and 2.5 miles wide. So far, we've had one injury, a second degree. We have a number of minor injuries, but an injury that required transportation to Stony Brook Hospital to their burn center, a second degree burn on the face of one of our firefighters. I hope that's the extent of it. We've had two structures that has burned, and we are now taking a very careful look at the airbase to see if that needs to be evacuated.
What's up with the fires, everybody?
ما شاء الله اليوم الخميس ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن.
What is this? Sand?
6 رمضان ما شاء الله تبارك.
What is that?
لا ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن. ما شاء الله كله بارك.
Little pellets? What's up? That scene was so weird. Like, they had, was we in a desert with like a sand wave and then like random apples?
Now,
on
you
the
want to
ground?
fast right now? Somebody said you're
Yes,
fasting.
I am.
How long is the fast going to last?
40 days.
And where are you now?
11.
And how does it feel?
Feels wonderful.
Do you have any food at all? Any
Yeah,
substance?
well, no, I drink juice, water, drink sea moss.
Sea moss.
Sea moss.
And what does that do for you?
Sea moss, well, see, the body is comprised of 102 minerals, and sea moss has 99 of them.
No kidding.
So it's
So you're feeling good?
yeah,
Would you recommend this to a guy like Tyrese?
I would recommend it for everyone.
I need it.
Cancer cannot get a hold on the body if the liver's working in optimum performance. One liver herb that many people don't realise it is the lemon. So a great drink in the morning. Remember, you wake up, have your water, have another bit of water, and then when you come near the kitchen, have the kettle boiled and put juice of a lemon in some water with a little bit of boiling water on top and have a warm lemon drink. Fantastic liver tonic. Also, the lemon is an internal alkalizer, so that will do a few things too. Dandelion is the liver herb. Your liver is a recoverable organ. It's the only organ in the body that has the ability to regrow or recover. That's why they can do a liver transplant on just a little bit of liver. The liver will regrow. And I'm so glad that God made the liver a recoverable organ, because some of the things that people are doing to their body, in ignorance, mostly granted, if we didn't have a recoverable organ, some of us wouldn't even live past our 20s. And these herbs help stimulate the liver to regrow and to recover.
One of my favorite diseases is Alzheimer's disease. It's a physician-caused disease. It's a pretty powerful statement. It's a physician-caused disease. We didn't have Alzheimer's disease 40 years ago. It was not in any medical dictionary, medical textbooks. It was not taught in any medical class. It only became a disease entity in 1979. Today, according to Ralph Nader, it rivals cancer in cost, $300,000 per patient, and it's the number 4 killer of adults over the age of 65, behind cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes. Then comes Alzheimer's disease. Now, we eliminated Alzheimer's disease from animals some 40 years ago. Can you imagine a dairy farmer with 400 head of cows out in the pasture with Alzheimer's disease, and he's yelling at them, woo, and rattling the feed bucket trying to get them up to get milk, and the cows are all out there scratching their heads saying, why do we want to go to the barn to get milk? And if we did, where's the barn? Because they get kind of, So the farmer has to put fuel in the ATV and ride out there and herd them up, and the fuel cost goes up, labor cost goes up, so they have to raise the price of milk. Nobody's happy. So we eliminated Alzheimer's disease by eliminating vegetable oil, corn oil, and soy oil from the animal's diet and putting in large doses of vitamin E and selenium.
Does stem cell production increase if I fast? The longer in the longer fast, yeah.
Is that the
3 days is the research was 24 hours for gut repair, so you get intestinal stem cells, but for systemic stem cells, 3 days, 72 hours.
And those systemic stem cells can do what for me?
They can go anywhere in your body and repair anything.
All right. Your body knows how to repair everything. If your bones are weak, your body knows how to regrow. If your muscles are wasting away, joints are breaking down, your internal organs are falling apart, you got things going wrong with you, there's no incurable disease. There is a point of no return, there's permanent damage, but if you get to anything wrong with a system going in here, if you get to it in time, do the right things, your body can repair it. So I'm going to explain it. And this is all you need for your body to repair itself. Ready? Get this. A surplus of energy in a hydrated alkaline environment. A surplus of energy in a hydrated alkaline environment. And your body will repair everything.
Well, that's all you need to make a clone, y'all. That's all we need. He just told us.
I'm going to show you the one secret that separates winners from losers more than anything else. If this $50 bill were available, who would want it?
Thank you.
All right, now don't go away yet. Come back. Tell us your name.
Debbie.
What did Debbie do that no one else in the audience did? She got up and she took action. See, too many times we sit around and we wait and we hope and we dream and we affirm and we pray and we meditate and we do all that. And all that's important. It's part of the process. But at a certain point, the opportunity shows up. And if you don't act, you get to sit and not have $50. Okay?
It was discovered in 1913, but by 1918, they were on to, hey, this stuff really works. By 1928, 10 years later, everybody in America was taking 20 milligrams a day. And you know what happened? Our hospitals emptied out. They had a medical emergency. No one was getting sick. So what the AMA and the FDA got together and what they decided to do was to give 7 medical students enough vitamin D to kill a horse. Well, of course, the kids got sick.
Right.
That was their excuse to remove vitamin D from the shelf. But because of the public uproar, the President of the United States had to commission University of Chicago medical faculty under Dr. Frock to tell the world, is vitamin D toxic? The study took years, and in the meantime, the FDA and AMA got together and said, we've got to stop people from taking the crucial vitamins A, D, and E. And so you know what we're going to do? We're going to use number psychology on the public. The 20 milligrams that the little lady takes every day is now 1 million units, and 1 million units will kill you. So what did he allow? 400. Now 400 is 1/100th of a milligram, not enough to do any good.
That's crazy.
Me and my wife got away for the weekend. Something told me to just do this for some reason. And at 10:30, somebody tried to come in our room. Call front desk, it says the engineer. You gotta follow your first mind. You gotta follow your first mind. I'm ready to go home now.
I would be too. It's time to get up out of there.
Again, another distance it is.
What I'm about to say might be the weirdest sentence that you ever hear in your entire life, but apparently the A-list, the rich, the elite, the 1% are having mermaid parties. And I don't mean it's a themed mermaid party. I don't mean you dress up like a mermaid. I don't even mean that there are mermaids in the pool that just happen to be ambiance. No, these are mermaid eating parties where they're serving up mermaids. I'm sorry, what in the fish and chips are we talking about? Because yeah, I landed on mermaid eating TikTok. And let me just tell you, my mind is blown. Allegedly, a guy came forward talking about mermaid eating parties in Hollywood. He got invited to a party. Next thing you know, they served a mermaid. He didn't want to eat it. He went to leave. He found a cooler full of living mermaids in the kitchen. What do you think about this? Because I've been to LA a lot. I've been around a lot of A-list people. I've been around a lot of rich people throughout my whole life. I was never invited to a mermaid eating party. And I don't know if I'm upset about that or I'm okay with that. But have you heard these stories? Because apparently we're eating mermaids now.
I'm not eating mermaids. Free energy? Magnetic energy?
For Trump, he is looking for fair trade. Fair trade, not free trade. Fair trade, in his mind, and he said it many times, is if American market is open, then he expects other countries to open their market. China's market has to be open for American products. This is the crucial thing for him. Now, with Trump, I've been following him for a long time. It is not what he says. So when you listen to him, his announcement, look at what he does, not what he says. He's a businessman. He wants to make a deal. He wants people to come to the table to discuss. So sometimes he comes with a very tough announcement, but what he wants is the people who listen to it to come and sit at the table to negotiate. At the end of the day, he wants.
So I see that Joe Rogan and all of these mega bros with their podcasts are all upset because the Midas Touch is taking over. It's the #1 streaming podcast across this country right now. And to that I say good. It is about time that we had someone from our perspective amplify our message. They get it all, and now they can't stand the fact that we are in the spotlight. So good for Midas Touch. I hope they continue to have all of the success. And the thing that gets me with Joe Rogan in particular is how he tries to play this both sides of the fence thing, even though he is just as responsible for 47 as anyone. He was all in on them. He was drinking all of the Kool-Aid, telling all of their things that put them in this good spotlight. And now he realizes that it's not popular to be there, and he's trying to run away from it. And to that I say this. I guess in the end for Joe Rogan, fear indeed was a factor for him.
That was a good one. Wait, so you're telling me on October 1st, 2017, he brought up 400 pounds of equipment up 30 floors, then sets up a concealed sniper nest, disarms all fire alarms and security systems at the casino, then removes an 800-pound window of hurricane-proof glass. Then he starts pew-pewing for 10 straight minutes, all with no training or no motive. Ian Carroll, man, explain it for us, man. What happened, Ian? What happened? Because none of that adds up.
What if I told you daylight saving time is a violation, a ritual forcing you to shift your entire perception of time? Think about it. You and I both know we can't change time, but the oligarchs, they say otherwise and enforce it. A system designed to indoctrinate us into believing we can give or take time. They claim it's about saving energy, helping businesses, or making better use of daylight, but none of that holds up. What it actually does is disrupt your natural rhythm, your circadian clock, the way your body was designed to sync with nature. Every year when the clocks shift, heart events, brain events, and vehicle events spike, almost as if humanity innately rejects this practice. It's a system that harms people, clear as day, pun intended, and yet they keep doing it. Why? Because it's not about you, it's about control. An elite-designed ritual meant to subtly reinforce their power over the most fundamental force of all, time itself. By making us constantly adjust, shift, and accept artificial time, they slowly erase the truth from our minds. Time was created by the creator of the heavens. No oligarch has power over it, and yet, twice a year, they force you to participate in the illusion that time is something they can manipulate, and it's not just about an hour, it's deeper than that. Every 4 years, we're told to add an extra day, February 29th, to fix our calendar. A system that actually worked wouldn't need constant repairs. So why is our timekeeping so broken? And more importantly, who broke it? nature already gave us the perfect system for measuring time, the moon. A 28-day cycle, like clockwork. If we tracked time correctly, we wouldn't have 12 uneven months. We'd have 13 months of exactly 28 days each, totaling 364 days. A perfect system. A system civilizations followed for thousands of years. But at some point, that system was hijacked. The natural rhythm of time was replaced with something artificial, designed to pull us further and further away from the truth. So ask yourself, if they can make you believe they control time, what else have they got you believing? I'm going to go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
China's subway systems versus the USA. China stuff look like a mall. USA's look ancient. I mean, because I'm pretty sure it is ancient. You know?
Here we have to talk about that "Does anybody care about Nebraska" video. When I recorded that video, it was just a random thought I had while I was driving around. It wasn't in any sort of political reference to anything. It was just a random thought of, I wonder if anyone's like thinking about Nebraska. And their response was overwhelmingly, no, not at all. Not for a damn second. Which, fair enough, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere and there's not a lot going on here. I think what I didn't expect and what became like very surprising to me, because I'm not a political content creator, the comments got very, very political and hateful. And I just want to make one thing extremely clear. This is not a Trump hat. Just because it's red does not mean it's a Trump hat. This is a Nebraska Cornhuskers hat. It's for our football team and sports. Yay, go Nebraska. I do not support the whole like Trump, MAGA, whatever's happening there, and it is very concerning. It is, but that's not something that I talk about online. So just making it perfectly clear, I do not endorse that. I do not support that, okay? I think it's a divisive system, two feathers of the same bird, and it wants us to be divisive and hateful.
Well,
Somebody at the door?
today's episode of F Around and Find Out MAGA edition, cattle ranchers in the state of Nebraska who voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump fear the impact on their businesses when Donald Trump implements his mass deportation program that he campaigned on for almost 2 years, that they voted for. And now they're realizing that if he actually implements it, they'll go bankrupt. He told you for almost 2 years that he was going to deport 20 million Hispanic, Latino, undocumented immigrants living and working in the United States. You voted for that. And as cattle ranchers in the state of Nebraska, your business and your profitability depends and relies on undocumented immigrant workers who are now going to be deported by the guy that you voted for who said he was going to do that.
FAFO.
I'm on the who's going to care about Nebraska side of TikTok, or does anybody care about Nebraska? And I'm watching white people like respond to that white woman like, Nebraska didn't care about Nebraska. Who did you think was going to be in those positions of the immigrants you're losing, blah, blah. And they're missing the point. Nebraskans thought that niggas was going to go back. Like they thought they had the early 1800s back. That's what you're not seeing. It's not like they didn't think about that. No, they knew, okay, we'll lose our immigrants, but we're going to get our slaves back. And that, my good friends, is the problem.
Well then, is that what y'all think in Nebraska?
So Mayor Adams let it be known that New York has invested at least $6.9 billion into illegal immigrants. And I'm all for making sure people are all right. But what about the people of New York? What about the residents in New York? There are people that are homeless in New York that could have used a portion of that $6.9 billion. There are struggling families in New York that could have used a portion of that $6.9 billion. But what do? Instead of trying to help New Yorkers, you make congestion prices. You try and hurt New Yorkers. Every chance y'all get, y'all try and take from New Yorkers. But when other people come here, what do? You help them. And not just you, man, Adams. Kathy Hochul, you too. What do? Now you want to charge people $125 for jaywalking. Come on, for real. Jaywalking. But New York could be a sanctuary city. They can make sure everybody else is good, but New Yorkers. New Yorkers are still struggling. Do something for New Yorkers. We need $6.9 billion. New Yorkers need that.
Statue of Lucifer. Not Liberty. Lucifer, huh? What? Look at all these websites. Yeah, man, these websites track literally everything.
What the? Stay, Prince. That looked crazy. Is that a plane?
That is not a plane.
What is that? No, seriously, what is that?
All the
Is that a
flickering lights
shooting
is crazy.
star? No. I'm gonna.
Don't it look like it came in from somewhere and now it's like falling across the sky?
Literally be. No way. No freaking way. Is that a shooting star? Alien? Spaceship. What the heck? What in the heck? What in the heck? What in the heck? The way I grabbed my phone out so quick right now. Like, is the sky glittering? What in the heck? No, literally there's like glitter around it. I'm not even kidding you. There's like glitter around it. Is
Glitter.
it multiple? Are we being attacked?
It's crazy how that happened.
What is that? I'm kind of freaking out. I'm kind of freaking out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh God. Oh Lord God. Oh Lord God. My heart is beating so fast right now. Did no one else just see that? My heart is beating so fast right now.
Imagine seeing that. Which I think it was.
Hold on, gang. Y'all remember all them animals I said might be aliens? Fuck them. We got some more to add to the list. First off, we got the fucking mantis shrimp. They say this motherfucker got the best eyes in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can see colors that the human eye can't see. And it made me wonder, like, how do we know it can see colors?
Yo, I be thinking that same thought all the time. How do we know? Like when they say dogs can only see like black and white. How do we know that?
We can't see if we can't see the fucking colors. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, bro, this damn shrimp can see 2 miles away. 360 degrees. Like, everywhere. For 2 miles. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck do it need to do all of that? You know what I'm saying? That means it synced us before it synced it and it transformed to a shrimp. No cap. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about it, bro. A damn pistol shrimp. It's a little bitty ass shrimp that fucking, it create a bubble when it's getting hunted or a hunt, gang. You know what I'm saying? And a bubble generate the same amount of fucking heat as the surface of the sun. Think about it. It's a shrimp that can do all of that. It's called a pistol shrimp because the bubble makes the same sound as a 22 pistol, create the same amount of force as a 22 pistol. You know what I'm saying? Think about it, gang. Why? Little bitty ass shrimp.
Little bitty shrimp.
Check out that one time that CNN told the truth, uncensored, unfiltered. Y'all ain't gonna believe this one.
After what I'm about to do, I think I'll probably be like in a huddle with a bunch of lawyers or something. Okay. So I don't have big plans for after this.
Well, this was the year that we learned that roasts probably shouldn't happen at important live events. Whitney Cummings, it is time for you to roast the year. Let's hear it.
Feel free to heckle me. Feel free to come for me. I do believe we need to hold 2024 accountable for its behavior. That is what white women do now. We point out other things that are toxic because we don't get irony. And that is our truth. This was the year that people were behaving so poorly, we started being wistful about murderers. Remember, this was the year where we're like, were the Menendez brothers so bad? Were we too hard on the Menendez brothers? This was the year we could not get enough of murderers. Gypsy Rose became our favorite celebrity because murdering your mom is so brat. They had her on a red carpet, a little on the nose for a murderer, but she was like posing in a fancy dress. We were like, slay, and she was like, I did. And of course, our heartthrob of the year was the alleged cold-blooded killer named Luigi, who is now in the same prison as Diddy, which I'm very upset about because Luigi already has a lower back issue. This was the year nothing made sense. Fertility was down, sales of baby oil was up, white supremacy groups reached record highs. It got so bad, Ariana Grande became white again. 2024 totally broke our brains. Half the people I know think we're in a simulation. I'm starting to wonder. When I go to a website and it asks me if I'm a robot or not, half the time I get the quiz wrong. I'm like, does the shadow of a bike count as a bike? I don't know. Why am I looking at a grainy photo of a crack house? We just all broke mentally this year. Things got so bleak, we started watching the WNBA. What happened? And we also started watching older women in movies. Equality or insanity? You tell me. Demi Moore was in a movie called The Substance, showing that Hollywood's ready for a woman in her 50s to star in a movie as long as a hot 28-year-old wears a leotard for most of it. Pam Anderson's getting Oscar buzz for a movie she did wearing no makeup. Guys, that's not progress if you call it brave. Documentaries finally realized the only way to make money is to just make them about cheerleaders. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleader doc showed the girls being treated horribly, underpaid, crying. I thought I'd open a video on Hunter Biden's laptop. This is the year everyone hated the movie The Joker, but if you do love watching men descend into insanity, in a couple hours you get to watch Andy Cohen do the countdown. In 2024, some things left us, some came back. Sanity left us. Somehow crypto is back. Do you guys even know what crypto? No one thought the timing of crypto was fishy. As soon as women started making money, they were like, money's over. Money's over. I don't even know what crypto is. As far as I understand, it's just astrology for men. 2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body up, right? Are we rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer.
Wow.
Moderna, whichever one's. Oh God, Andy just gave me a very scary look. No. Let me be clear though. 2024 was not only negative. The media wants us to believe this country is so divided, but we actually came together a lot this year. Like as a nation, we unanimously agreed that we would rather see J-Lo in a toxic relationship than in concert. I agree. The government totally knows what drones are and are telling us. The drones are still up there, and we have no idea what's behind them. No idea. I mean, they're still up in the sky, so I guess we can rule out that they were made by Boeing. The point is, we all agree on a lot of things. And since I only have a minute left live on establishment media, why don't we just say a bunch of things that we know that they'll never cover? Okay, ready, go. Trump Shooter didn't have any silverware in his house. No one thought that was weird? Are we still rolling? Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia put money into Disney, so just know there won't be any girl characters in the next Cars movie. Are we still rolling? This is wild. Okay, why have so many presidents chefs died? Weird. Boy Scout of America, they renamed itself Scouting America. You know who else changed their name? Sean Combs. Just saying. Let's learn something in 2025. I can't believe you guys are still letting me go. This is amazing. I love CNN. Please stop me, Andy, because I will just keep going.
Happy New Year, Whitney Cummings.
Am I still streaming?
Yes.
That's amazing.
We are live on CNN. You look cool as a cucumber.
No censorship on CNN.
Love
you guys.
very much.
Thanks for having me.
Love you.
Yeah, she was going in. That was crazy. Wait, what is this? See, I don't want to see stuff like this when I'm on a plane, because I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? Y'all know what those things are? Those drones, planets, UAPs, orbs, Dior bags, other planes. I don't think it's other planes. I'm just waiting for one to like zoom off or do something crazy. Nope, didn't get none to zoom off.
The Megalodon, what do you know about it?
Big shark.
Prehistoric? 1970s, NASA started a underwater research and testing site off the coast of Maryland.
Ooh.
And it was to study the existence of rare animals. This guy named George Meyer, marine biologist out of Texas, he went to Maryland to do some studying, and a storm came, and he got blown like pretty far out. When the storm passed, and he looked off the boat, and there's a giant cage underneath him.
Okay.
Being a marine biologist, he went underwater, and from what he saw, it went a mile this way and a mile that way. And on the cage, it said, quote, Zone F property of NASA. Stay out. He saw that and he said, oh, I don't want to mess with this.
Yeah.
Started swimming up and he heard a loud metal banging.
Dude.
He looked back down and what he saw, he said, was a shark 60 to 70 feet in length. Freaked him out so much, he swam back to the boat, took off.
Yeah.
He came back 2 weeks later and the cage was gone.
The mile-long cage
Was gone.
That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Like,
how's it just be gone like that? No, imagine seeing drones like this, a drone swarm. Imagine what they're capable of. If someone can do a whole drone swarm like this. You know what I mean?
So y'all, I went down the rabbit hole. Y'all know there's like 9 Statue of Liberties around the world. Here's one. Guess where it's at? Ukraine. Of course. This one's in Tokyo.
What?
Paris.
What? I did not know that.
El Salvador. Denmark. Look at that, y'all. And look at the address. That's weird, y'all. Paragold. Rio de Janeiro. Northern New York. Y'all, that is crazy. Now I get it. Do y'all...
Statue of Lucy.
If you do not have clear goals for your life, you are condemned forever to work for those who do. You see, in life, it's very simple. Either you are working toward the accomplishment of your goals or you're working toward the accomplishment of other people's goals. Very important.
Yo, what's this? What am I seeing here? There's like all type of stuff I feel like coming into our atmosphere.
So we're out here right now imaging the blood moon. This is what my Sony's getting. And the origin is right here. And Noah Diamond has the live view.
What?
That is
That's
insane.
crazy.
That's the origin right now.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Y'all might need to upgrade my telescope.
I don't have an iPhone. I can't go. I got it following. When I told you, it looked like damn fireworks.
Helicopter just following
Yeah,
it.
tell me the helicopter's not following it. And it went far faster.
Who is actually faring better academically in this country today? Is it public school kids or homeschool kids?
I would have to say homeschool kids.
There's going to be the children that do well in public school, right?
Sure.
There's going to be the personalities that thrive in that situation. Those kids probably test really well and they probably do really well. But the majority of children, I would say, do not thrive in that situation. And if they're able to get a learning style that works for them, I'm sure they are testing way higher and doing things way better.
There are families that they need to send their children to school because they need to work, and the school system is just failing their children. I just wish that the system could repair itself a little quicker or like be a little better, because it could be great.
You know, I don't think the system's going to get any better because we don't have anyone going into the system who wants to fix those things, right? We have a lot of teachers who are taking on these teaching jobs just for the money, just because we had a whole generation of people who were told that you have to go to college to get a good job. So a lot of people went to college and they wanted a good job. So they decided to be a teacher, not because they wanted to be a teacher, but because they wanted a decent paying job. And I think that's where we stand right now, because school wasn't always this bad, you know? I mean, granted, the stuff they teach in school, I don't 100% agree with, but it is better than not teaching anything, I guess. So, what do you guys think? Homeschool, public school? 1727. Is something going to happen on these days? What's going on with 17 and 27? Or am I lost? What is this anyway? Look like something for a movie or a show. Always in plain sight when you realize this is symbolism for reptilians underground eating pizza. Yo, they trying to tell us something. So this is in California, January 4th. Now that's trippy. What is that? Imagine the pilots out here that just see it all the time. This is the dark web? Yo. I don't think I've ever actually been on the dark web. Anybody been on the dark web? There's probably some crazy stuff there.
Oh, what happened?
It's on fire.
Another plane? This one's on fire and you gotta go stand on the wing? Bro, that's crazy. I'd have jumped off. That's crazy. Anyone know what this huge line shadow is? I'm guessing a trail above you, even higher. Blocking the sun. Them trails go way up there, don't they? That's a big old shadow, too. I mean, it don't look that big from up here, I guess, but it's a pretty big shadow. Any guesses what it might be? Paradise, maybe?
Sometimes the best place to hide is right in plain sight. This is Gigi Bryant, and this is her dad, Kobe Bryant, and they supposedly died back in 2020 in a helicopter crash. And coincidentally, the giveaway at Kobe's last ever home game just happened to be him as a helicopter.
Yo. I never seen that little figure before of him as a helicopter.
And also, coincidentally, a Cartoon Network episode of this show depicted Kobe in a helicopter crash. Now I'm about to show you some other coincidences, and you can make up your own mind. Coincidences like how Gigi has been depicted as an angel more than anyone I have ever researched who supposedly lost their life. Her as an angel. And well, this is famous WNBA star Angel Reese. And when she held the NBA trophy, she couldn't help but say, "It reminds me of Kobe." And Angel just happens to be super close with Kobe's ex-teammate and someone he referred to as Big Brother, Shaq. So close that Angel affectionately refers to Shaq as Uncle Shaq. Kind of like Gigi used to refer to him as. Kobe's kids called him Uncle Shaq. Oh, and just in case you didn't know, Shaq's a 33-degree Freemason. Here he is with some of his brothers, and here he is wearing his Freemason ring. I wonder why they call it a secret society. Maybe it's because he keeps a good secret. I mean, so there's some circumstantial coincidences. It's not like there's physical coincidences like them having the exact same eyebrow.
Hey. I'm going to debunk the eyebrow one right now because come on now. You know you ladies out here get your eyebrows done like twice every month, you know. So we don't really know what your actual eyebrows look like.
Or them having the exact same motivated Kobe game face and lining up symmetrically. Okay, so there's another coincidence that's physical. It's not like they have any similar markings or anything like that. Because if they did, there's some psychopath out there that would have spent hours and hours and hours combing through the internet and looking for pictures where one of them has low enough makeup on to see her actual skin complexion. And someone out there would have found exact markings. But even then, again, that's just a coincidence. I mean, identical twins don't even have the same markings, so it would just be a coincidence, like the rest of it. Okay, so fine. Her name is Angel, and Gigi is depicted as an angel over and over and over and over and over again. But for them to really be the same person, I mean, there would have to be a coincidence of them sounding alike, right?
Asia Wilson and Jackie Young. From the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is.
Finally, for you, what would it be like to one day be a WNBA player?
I think it mean everything. I mean everything. Awesome. Just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the...
You know, one of these days I really should start playing the lottery because I must be the luckiest human in the world to find all the coincidences that I do. I must just have a knack for finding coincidences. And if you want more detailed information on this where I'm not trying to sidestep the moderators, go subscribe, check out the full-length video. And of course, this is for entertainment purposes.
Yo, I gotta go check out the full-length video, guys, because I don't know about that one, man. Angel Reese being Gigi Bryant. Yo, that's a crazy claim, ain't it? All the Kobe fans out there they're gonna go crazy with that one.
Happy birthday to me, the upgraded the Stang. What you know about the Cobra? You don't know nothing about. So now let me quit playing if I get my ass dealt with. That ain't my fucking Cobra.
So this is the world map according to Korea. In 1402, it says, "Do you notice anything?" That it looked different.
Do you guys remember that story from Isaiah where the Assyrian army was marching to Jerusalem and God said that I will not let them enter Jerusalem, and he sent an angel, came down and killed the entire army? Thus said the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into the city or shoot an arrow there or come before it with a shield or cast up a siege mound against it. By the way he shall return, and he shall not come into the city, declares the Lord. For I will defend the city to save it for my own sake, and for the sake of my servant David. And an angel of the Lord went down and struck down 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. Apparently just found proof of that battle.
No way.
This archaeologist, he went and he found this old ancient Assyrian coin looking thing. And basically what it was a layout for an army and like what mountain peaks that they're at and stuff. And he's like, oh, this matches what I've seen in this one region, but no one had explored or dug or lived in this region for thousands of years. And so he went there and did pictures and stuff, and sure enough, it matched up exactly where this battle would have taken place.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
In 1181.
Our guide told us how there used to be rubies, sapphires, and emeralds, rare colorful gems laced with the holes of the temple walls, where at a certain time the sun would reflect into it and create beautiful colors of rays throughout the temple. Unfortunately, the jewels would be eventually stolen by war and destruction. Of course they would. Just imagine what the old world used to look like in its prime. Man, probably like a dream.
I've discovered something like kind of freaky. So I'm working on this art piece, and the part that was like broke on the edges, you know, like I've just been going like, you know, filling them in, and then I caught like, I know I won't be able to recreate it, but like I caught like a glimpse inside of here, and I'm telling you, it's Matrix code. I'm not. I need somebody to. One of my friends to come over here because I'm tripping.
So she said she caught Matrix code in the mirror.
I may not be a smart man, but I know something's fucked up when I see it.
Facts.
You ever hear about the Las Vegas shooting?
Well, yeah, the one at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, of course. I had
so
a friend that
if
was.
your podcast isn't already demonetized and taken off the internet yet, we'll make sure it happens now.
Oh fuck!
You had a friend that was there?
I had a friend that left the concert a few hours before it happened. Yeah,
Lucky.
I lived in Vegas for 5 years.
Yeah, so I was like probably out traveling when it happened or something. I heard about it once or twice, never looked into it, wasn't paying attention at the time. And then I've obviously, now that I do this, I get like recommendations all the time in the comments, and that one comes up a lot. And I knew I would get to it, and eventually I just like watched a little documentary about it on Rumble by a gal named Mindy, who kind of like summarized everything. And it's a good summary of sort of like the base facts and all the problems with the official story. And it just like opened up this whole like, what on earth? And I'll just do it just real quick. Like, what we're told is there's this country music concert in downtown Las Vegas on October 1st, 2017. And then out of nowhere, this dude on the 34th or 32nd floor or whatever of the hotel across the street,
Mandalay Bay,
yeah, like way up there, it's like a couple hundred yards of a shot or something.
Yeah.
He's got a hotel room that is absolutely like piled to the fucking roof with ammo and guns of every nature, like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds, and like 40, 50, 60 guns. I forget the exact number, like an insane amount of firepower.
Yeah.
And he apparently smashes out the window and just starts unloading with ARs that have bump stocks, and just, and they had to, and it's because when there's videos of it all over the place, and it's like automatic gunfire rains down on the concert. Like something like 60 people are killed, this massive tragedy. It's this whole crowd of people. And the story is that he shot a whole bunch of AR rounds and some rifle rounds out of that window all on his own. There was no one else in there. He eventually decided that he was done with that and then committed suicide alone in that room about an hour before the cops ever got there, while he still had an entire room full of ammunition and guns chilling. Right? That's literally the official story. And that's already super weird. There's like 20 headshots in the crowd, and we're talking like a multi-100-yard shot with an AR and a bump stock. A lot of the weapons in the room didn't even have sights on them. But beyond that, the videos that everyone's posting, it's very clear that it's like a full-on belt-fed machine gun that's firing. And it's very clear that at times it sounds like there's multiple guns firing at once, multiple automatic guns firing at once. And it's also very clear that those shots are not possible. But then there's like layers and layers that I won't get into. There is clear evidence that there were multiple helicopters that don't exist that were flying around in the sky that night, right over top of the Mandalay Bay. Their transponders turned off, then turned back on, things like that. There is 911 calls all up and down the strip in hotels like 3-4 blocks down the strip of people alleging there are shooters in the lobby, of people saying they hear shots in the hotels, of like 6-7 different hotels on the strip. There are people that see people running around with guns. And remember, just one shooter in just one room. He never left. He committed suicide. And people are seeing people with guns in other places. The 911 calls are coming in from everywhere. The helicopters are going off. There are people injured in weird places that don't make sense.
So what really happened in Vegas?
One time I saw a creator's post that said, when you're lucid dreaming, never ask a character in your dream what the time is or what date it is. And so, of course, I had to do it. But anybody knows the hardest part of lucid dreaming is realizing you're dreaming. So you, quote unquote, wake up in your dream. And so one time I did that. I was lucid dreaming. I was walking on the street. And it was in the 1800s, and people had the clothing. And I asked one person, and they ignored me. I asked another person, they ignored me. And then I asked the woman, she was middle-aged. She had a child with her, maybe 4 years old. She was holding the child's hands and walking down the street on the sidewalk. And so I asked her, hey, what time is it? And her face turned into like a demon face. She got so mad at me. And she said, you know you're not supposed to ask me that question.
I like to listen to this Rabbi Kessin. I like the way he interprets Torah, because it's very like the way I interpret Torah too, the way I understand it. But he's saying that he's trying to warn people, and I told him I would help because I believe it too. Try to warn people that a time is coming quickly, quicker than we know or understand or perceive. A time is coming when we will no longer be able to choose right from wrong. We won't be able to do that anymore, because what happens is when Mashiach is made known, when when Mashiach makes its presence known, the whole world is going to change. And what's going to happen is none of the old laws are going to apply, and there will be no more free will. So it's wise that you get into repenting and understand what you've done with your free will and try to correct what you haven't corrected with your free will. Like letting yourself be used. Just going along to get along, not rocking the boat, you know.
This is fucking insane.
Oh, it's not. It's flashing in the
I thought
neighborhood.
this thing was up there to look around and figure out what the winged drones were. This is not a winged drone, by the way. This is a 4-rotor, like Best Buy style drone, especially the way it's moving, you can tell, but I had it zoomed in. It was up there since the daylight, guys. This thing has been up there for 2 battery changes. It went down twice. You watched it on the live the second time. Like what's going on? Look, it's going. What's going on?
That's a crazy light.
Please share this. Please share. I don't know how to share this. I don't know what I'm doing with this. Just please help me get this out there. This is fucking insane. I need somebody to see this for confirmation. We need to figure out, like, are commercial drones able to do this? Because we watched it go down. So if not, then there's like a fucking government or alien base in Great Falls.
Government or alien? Which one?
So let's talk about it. So why would the government need to test the hearing of elementary school students anyway? That's my first question. Were they going to pay for the surgeries to fix hearing if that was possible? No. Were they going to pay for hearing aids for students who needed them? Was the government going to do that? We don't have free health care here. Were they going to pay for American Sign Language to kids who needed it? But they just were interested in your hearing. Hey, I guess so. Maybe in your city, they cared about you. But yeah, I think with 2 seconds of analytical thinking, we know it wasn't hearing tests. But I understand how it could be scary for you because you don't know what to do with this information. When you read the comments and you see with everybody is having the same experiences, the same abilities, they can dream the future, they have deja vu where they've experienced it before, so they've done it before. I know you don't know how to process that. And so it's easier to laugh than it is to comprehend. I always wonder, like the Matrix. The Matrix said the humans were used as batteries, and we would be terrible batteries, but we would be a great neural network, especially people who have special abilities. What if we were to harness our abilities? What could we change? What could we create? The people who do have these abilities. That's what I want to do. I need to think about how I can.
Did she ever talk to you about what made her so angry?
I don't know if y'all believe in this selling your soul, but it almost seemed like that's what happened a long time ago in the industry or something, because it's like demon possession. Oh, I'm just keeping it real. People might take this the wrong way, take it however you please. If you believe in demonic spirits, some people have them, and she does. And so
you're saying, without a doubt, that in your opinion, Kiki is demonic. Allegedly sleeping with your cousin and taking him from his wife.
And starting a church.
That's yeah.
That's wild.
Insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
If y'all didn't know, it's illegal for motherfucking people in the United States to communicate with wild dolphins or dolphins without being supervised or some shit like that. But basically, this lady right here, I don't know if that's her Snapchat or not, but I've seen this shit. Not Snapchat, but TikTok. I've seen this. I think dolphins can talk. So I looked the shit up. Man, they've been doing experiments in the 60s, man. They've been doing experiments since the 60s, bro.
Yo, this random, but who's like the king of like Bikini Bottom in SpongeBob, right? Like the god in SpongeBob. Isn't it a dolphin?
Motherfucking dolphins over here talking and shit. And ain't no telling what they really... I think, man, what? Dolphins learned how to talk English in 3 months. This shit crazy. Y'all check this video out and let me know what y'all think.
Mama. Yeah. Mama. 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 Yeah. Mama. 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 Yeah. Mama. Mama.
Yo, dolphins can talk. That's crazy.
Even the sheep gotta know this shit is not normal.
Right, you gotta know
on
that
now,
ain't
y'all.
no normal cloud. Come on, what is this? What is that?
It was
Grids
a
in
nice,
the
beautiful
sky?
day. They harped in this fucking cloud. I seen it coming. I showed you guys. It happened. Now it's gonna be shitty the rest of the day. This won't pass over the sun.
Nope.
As you can see, it stopped. The shit took like minutes. Now it's not moving. I'm tired of this shit, man. If you guys couldn't tell. It is what it is, though. I'm gonna keep posting because, I don't know, it makes me feel a little better, I guess.
You know, because it ain't too much I can do about it.
Saddest thing happened was that plane that crashed in DC.
Yeah, what's the controversy with it?
Okay.
One, it's just weird, right?
Right.
Because we
So-
have a Black Hawk helicopter.
Almost 70 people died.
Apparently, at this one conference, they're talking about remote fly Black Hawk helicopters.
I saw that too. They announced that in August of last year. They were excited about it. Like, it was a huge thing. Like, it's completely unmanned, 300 miles away.
And there were pilots on the Black Hawk
Named,
helicopter. It just made me wonder, because you're not really hearing the radio come out.
I mean, you look at the flight path. You literally see the airplane coming down. It's going basically in a straight line. And then the helicopter's coming this way. And it turns.
Yeah.
Directly in front of it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, obviously, there's going to be questions that come along with this. You know the Boston Club, the ice skate? They're part of the Boston Club. And in 1961, a plane that was going to Prague, everyone died, perished. And it was the whole U.S. national team. But this is the only time. This is the only time this has happened to this club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like, this is terrible. It's absolutely tragic. It's crazy.
It's weird.
I hope y'all know shit is about to get real. So tonight there's gonna be a total eclipse when the moon turns fully red. And they're calling it the blood moon. You don't believe me? Look at this shit. They're saying that when this moon comes, something needs to be released in your life. Something needs to be completely purged out of your life. And a lot of people are saying that this blood moon comes with a bad omen. Now I know that sounds a little out of the ordinary, but if history repeats itself, and we know history repeats itself, then you have to go back and look at everything that happened when we had a blood moon. Look up what happened after the blood moon, right before Jesus was born. We won't get into specifics, but if you need to, you can look it up. It shouldn't be hard to find. Though this eclipse is gonna last about an hour. If you wanna watch the eclipse, it's gonna start taking effect around 1:09 a.m., and that's Eastern time. So which would mean it's gonna be 10:09 p.m. Pacific time. That's when that shadow should be moving across the moon. But the moon should be totally blood red by 2:26 a.m. Eastern time. Now there's been a couple of predictions that I won't say, but what I will say, if you do plan on watching it definitely should be a beautiful sight. I've never seen it happen before, and I definitely plan on watching it myself. I might just go live and watch it at that time, so if you up, stay tuned.
I think that you guys don't know what's going on in education right now. That's fine. Like, how could you know unless you were working in it? But I think that I think you need to know. So here is exactly what it's like right now working in public education. First of all, the kids have no ability to be bored whatsoever. They live on their phones and they're just fed a constant stream of dopamine from the minute their eyes wake up in the morning until they go to sleep at night. Because they're in a constant state of dopamine withdrawal at school, they behave like addicts. They're super emotional, like the smallest thing sets them off. And when you are standing in front of them trying to teach, they're vacant. They have no ability to tune in if your communication isn't packaged in short little clips or if it doesn't have like bright flashing lights. That's actually the way harder part for me than just the outright behaviors, is just being up at the front, talking to a group of kids who have their eyes open, they're looking at me, but they're not there. They're not there. And they have a level of apathy that I've never seen before in my whole career. Punishments don't work because they don't care about them. They don't care about grades. They don't care about college. It's like you are interacting with them briefly in between hits of the internet, which is their real life. I've seen some TikToks recently where teachers are getting a lot of hate, like for not adapting to the kids or punishing them or whatever. And I just gotta say, like, I can tell you with absolute certainty, it is not the teacher's fault. It might be the parents' fault. It might be our capitalistic society's fault, but it is not the teacher's fault.
Hey, she got a point right there, because these phones nowadays, it's crazy. Like, I consider myself a millennial. Well, I really don't, but my little sister calls me a millennial all the time. So I guess I'm a millennial. So us millennials, right? We didn't have these things back in the day. When we were in high school, we didn't have cell phones, right? I think I got a cell phone in high school. I did have a cell phone, but it was like a flip phone, or we had the chirps, we could walkie-talkie, but there was no, like she said, hits of dopamine. We weren't on the internet. We weren't on social media. We weren't able to interact with people like that. We really just had our phones in our pockets to get somebody's number. It's different nowadays, man. These kids are completely different, right? Their goals, their mindset, everything's different. They don't even think about college or think about a career path or, like she said, grades. They're thinking about social media, what's popular on TikTok. Who's the most popular person on TikTok, and that's who I want to be. So, yeah, I don't falter. I don't think it's 100% the teachers. I think it's a lot to do with everything else. Imagine buying beer, bras, and food while your daughter rots in the woods. Casey Anthony. That's crazy that she's coming back into social media. That is a good thing, because there's probably a bunch of people, younger people who aren't millennials, who think that Casey Anthony's just a regular person. But nah, there's a past history there. Kaylee Anthony deserved better.
My boy was the spook that sat by the door. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Kendrick played the spook that sat by the fucking door. And that shit worked to perfection.
Oh, to perfection.
Right there, people, is your proof of God's handiwork, God's creation, not a Big Bang Theory. You go out here 350 years later and still see the exact same thing they were seeing. We are not moving, and there's no such thing as space. And they use that based on the seasons, the moon, and the firmament. Y'all seek God, question everything, while you still have this opportunity.
Big facts, man. Flat, plain.
Bro. Whoa. What the f is that, bro? I don't know. Yo, what is that? Whoa. What the
is that, bro?
I don't know. Oh, it's gone.
Just like that. Yo, that mother moving. Yo. Man, it's got powers. Levitation powers. Yo, we got powers out here.
Now I'm going to turn it around, and if I carefully line it up, it has to be exactly lined up for it to work.
That's awesome.
Yo.
Isn't that cool? That's so cool.
Is Mario? Man's got a steel fist. Judo chopped the mess out of somebody with that, wouldn't you?
Okay, 6-7 update. I've officially gathered information from our youth, and I'm able to assess the situation on what's going on. They are officially suffering from brain damage.
Gotta
I'm sorry. I listened to the song. They told me to go listen to the song, and it's by Skrilla, and it's called Doot Doot.
What?
I don't know. It may just be me, and I may just be old. Y'all said I was old. It may just be me. But if I see something called Doot 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 Doot, like Shark Doot Doot, like Baby Shark, if I seen that by a grown man, I personally probably wouldn't choose that song. That's just not my preference. You know, it's just maybe just me. But when I listen to it, I need y'all to listen to it because I couldn't go any more past 15 seconds. I couldn't do it. I would rather put up a lawn chair and sit it next to a tornado siren. You know that come on every first Wednesday of the month. I would rather sit there and listen to that for 7 days than listen to 30 seconds of that song. Y'all go listen to that song. That's where all the kids and all the youth got 6-7 from. And the song is absolute dog shit.
That's crazy, yo. These youth are different.
It's fantastic, fantastic. He was a smart guy, you know, Tesla. First the light bulb, and now this. He was like a modern day Isaac Neutron. It's remarkable.
Isaac Neutron. But the crazy thing is, man, ain't neither one of them create no light bulbs or no electricity. Stuff been here forever. You can go back and go look at the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, right? That's supposed to be very old, right? 3,000 years old. Yet they are depicting light bulbs 3,000 years ago. Where was Edison there? Where was Isaac Neutron at? You know what I'm saying? There was atmospheric energy a couple hundred years ago. I'm just saying, some of you school people need to stay away from school.
My life changed forever and for the better after meeting him. He actually discovered me for The Color Purple, which was my first film. Yeah.
Me too. So tonight, we honor the true American legend whose music and movies continue to inspire us all.
Oh, they be lying to us. Fake sizzle.
You good?
It's artificial sizzle.
What?
It's an artificial sizzle. They just put water on the hot pan. It's not the food cooking when it comes to your...
Artificial sizzle. Bogus. Wait. Hold on. I didn't even see what it said. All right. The symbolism in the book Secret Pizza Party, which Jennifer Garner read to children in a classroom, is quite unsettling. So, this actress comes to a classroom of little children and reads them a book called The Secret Pizza Party. What's up with that? Phew, we made it. Let's barricade the doors and pop open that pizza box. Regular staircase, tiring. Secret staircase, terrific. Secret staircases? Who you hiding from? Where they trying to tell you to go? So convenient, you could eat it in the bathtub. Look at the floor. Look at the floor, y'all. It's a checkered floor. I know what you're thinking. Why would we keep such a delicious party a secret? Okay, sure. It's so folks don't show up to bonk you with brooms. But that's not the only reason. When you make something secret, you make it special. Regular handshake, boring. Secret handshake, booyah. They trying to teach little kids that secrets are okay. Secret pizza party. Oops, I said that kind of loud. Sorry, pizza smell gives me the happy screams. The happy screams? Ah, pizza, so beautiful. You could hang it up on the wall of a museum. And then you have this pizza party where everyone has on masks. Don't they have parties like this? Little masquerade parties where everyone has to wear a mask, little freak offs. Listen, man, we got to be careful out here. Don't go get that book for your kids. And don't let nobody read that book to your children either. Like, I don't know what they're doing in Hollywood, but it's weird. My son's just watched the new Plankton movie, right? And then my son comes up to me and says, Dad, I want to listen to the new Plankton song. I said, okay, what's the Plankton song called? Yo, when he said this, I was like, he said, Dad, it's called Jerk It Out. I said, what? Jerk It Out? So why do they want my kids to go on to search platforms or YouTube if they have the remote or something or wherever and search Jerk It Out? Imagine what the search results are going to be for that. Why is that even a song for kids? Kids going to school, jerk it out. Hey, bro, jerk it out. Come on, man. Like, it's a weird world we're living in. They're still posting old things to her story. Outfits the same from her live on February 7th.
I drink. I don't smoke, but I drink.
Okay. Amen. We just trying to be the more Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Yeah. Believe in God, right?
I do. Of course I do.
Amen. Yeah, period.
Should I get some food?
Yes, please. What's your name again?
Nico.
Thank you, Nico.
I don't gotta ask you your name. What's your name?
Dolce.
Dolce. Oh my God, is that your real name?
No, but everybody calls me Dolce because I'm
awesome.
sweet.
I love that name.
Thank you.
We often wonder why there were so many damn chicken places in the black community. Key is they lace the chicken batter with MSG. Now MSG, what, monosodium glutamate, makes you forget history. Remember I said black people got a 3-year attention span. It makes you forget history. It's an hallucinogenic. That means if you can take this particular, if you take accent and put this shit on this plastic, if it was soft enough to chew, this motherfucker tastes good. Cause it makes the brain think that whatever you eat tastes good. But what it does, it forgets memory. Very key that you understand this, because also sodium dehydrates you. And because it dehydrates you, the brain don't get enough water, and they can stop the water flow, not only because the water is the key to unloosening up the melanin, among other things. Lots and lots of water. We'll get back into that particular part to put this on tape. So, and how it's actually done, the water mystery. But they dehydrate the body with the MSG shit. So now they got 30 different damn names for MSG, hybridized yeast and all that kind of stuff. So there's no way that you can get around this shit now. So don't waste your time reading all the labels and all that kind of. You can eat what the hell you want. You just got to drink lots and lots and lots of water. You see, that's the key. 8 glasses of water a day is a minimum, but you got to drink lots and lots and lots of water. That is the key to everything. Is water. Diet, that's bullshit. Water is the key. Because I don't give a damn what you eat. I don't give a damn if it's grass. It still turns into shit. Water is the key.
How the fuck ain't nobody?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie though. I am a little skeptical about drinking water nowadays because, you know, watching all these videos and stuff, you start to think things, right? You think, oh man, they're poisoning the food and there's all these ingredients and stuff. Like, if they really wanted to get to people, not like we could say, oh, cereal is bad for you. Stay away from the chip aisle. Stay away from these processed foods, right? But it's easy to stay away from them things, right? A person can say, all right, I'm going to not eat those things. But what's one thing that we all are going to go for? That's water, specifically bottled water. If they wanted to mess with us, why don't they just put it in the water? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Talking about this though. Do you remember when the FBI chief warned us? Like, this is what he said, so just listen to this shit.
Power grids are like 60, 70 years old. It's gonna be cool when the lights go out. Exactly. And people are like, oh, that just happens in that movie Die Hard or something. Like, no, it's not that hard to shut off a power grid through a cyber attack.
How vulnerable is it to outside attacks?
It's big because once they hit it, we can't fix it fast.
If the grid goes down, we'll eventually just ourselves out of desperation. There will be no food, there'll be no water, there'll be no medical, there'll be no communication. How likely is that method of attack, do you think?
Something's gonna happen.
We are really bad at listening to warnings about disaster.
That's why everyone in my family has a copy of this book. You'll learn.
Man, look, they want to tell us that the power grids are going to go down and they're so old. They're 60, 70 years old. They're outdated. I think they're just trying to predictively program something into our minds, right? But my phone gets updates all the time. My dang TV is asking to get an update. We can't update power grids that we know are going to fail. Don't that just seem off? We upgrade everything. It's like another scare. It's kind of like the Y2K scare, right? Year 2000, when they said everything's going to crash because we don't have computers that can compute into the year 2000. We haven't set up those dates, so everything's going to crash. But yet, nothing crashed. So, fear-mongering.
That's good, white people. Now, on 3, say really loud. 1, 2, 3.
No way. Yo, that's the times we in? What's this? I found this old newspaper while cleaning up my grandparents' storage. I read that all wrong. Where was this at? Hawaii? They was trying to get King Kamehameha up out of there, man. Destroying the whole place. Yeah, that's crazy.
What the?
Yo.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Er is dus brandweer gekomen omdat er een duif of een meeuw hangt.
Wait a minute.
Aan een draadje of zo, maar hij zweeft in de lucht.
What's the bird stuck on? I don't see no line or anything.
Wat is dit, joh?
I don't see no lines out there. What the heck? That was strange.
That is so... What the fuck?
Strange lights in the sky in China. What is this? The firmament breaking? Look, he's just jogging. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I see this every day. Florida beach is covered in snow. Imagine taking a trip to Florida thinking you're gonna go on the beach, and this is what you see. That's wild.
This genuinely makes no sense at all. What kind of optical illusion is this? It's so far away. That doesn't make any sense. Hold on. I'm doing it again. I'm backing up. I'm backing up. And then I'm... Bro.
Looks like it's right there, don't it?
That doesn't make any sense at all.
That is a weird optical illusion.
Sorry, sir. It's been an emotional couple of days.
I'm just here to get a nasal speculum.
I just wish I didn't hate that mole so much.
I used one of these on my wife once. She's a terrible snorer. She used to keep me up all night.
Yo.
But here's the point. You might find out that thing you hate so much is the very same thing you miss when it's gone.
They put it right in front of us.
Let me tell you about some maps dating back from the 1500s from all over the world. All these different cartographers all over the world. So Europe,
Asia.
no, yeah, for real. They all depicted at the North Pole, there's these 4 islands that are equally spaced apart. And in the center was a magnetic mountain. But then you think of like Admiral Byrd, who was the guy that explored Antarctica and said that there's something here. Admiral Byrd went to the North Pole too. And he actually said that he flew into the Earth. There's an opening at the top of the world where you could fly into the Earth.
Shut up.
And this dude's a decorated admiral.
Yeah.
He said the U.S. needs to be prepared because what he discovered in Antarctica, they have craft that can fly from the south to the North Pole within minutes.
It sounds like a UFO.
Yeah. One of the maps said that the rivers that pass through these islands, they said are 33 miles wide, and they only freeze for 3 months out of the year.
It's hot up there? Glaciers are rivers of ice, says Elsa.
I thought you wrote that. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of poetic.
I can't believe what I am looking at. They have called this the Rosetta Stone, but it is from Egypt, and it was never ever called Rosetta. Never. The British stole everything, didn't they? They stole everything. And I'm here to collect it. Maybe I can arrange for someone to pick it up. We take it back to Egypt. Rosetta was never ever called Rosetta. Probably Pharaoh.
Did you see her face when he started talking?
That logo on this shirt looks like the executive producer Obama of the film Leave the World Behind. Here another picture of the constellation of the 2 t-shirts, and that constellation explains on its own. But the interesting part is when you're going to flip this image upside down. That looks like a snake's tongue now. And this side reminds me to the Blue Marble of 2002. Let me show you. Take the middle and delete the right side of the Blue Marble. Copy and paste the left side, mirror it and stitch together, then you get this. Now flip it upside down and you are going to see this pyramid with the eye in the center. By inverting the colors you got a much better view of this whole picture. Compare the 2 pyramids and also compare the wings on both pictures, on the left and on the right side, and compare the bottom of both pictures.
What is this? I wonder what that was moving too fast though. This is also moving very fast. What is that? Yo.
Wichita's crazy.
There's a whole network of tunnels in New York. Just
Tunnels under Wichita?
I'm just gonna drop
Tunnels
that.
under Wichita?
A whole fucking sprawling network to the point where there's even a whole generation of people down there who've never seen the sun. I know them. I know it. It's
You
a
know
fact.
people in the tunnels under Wichita?
Yeah, they're not good people.
For real?
Don't ever go there.
I don't even know. I don't even know where the tunnel would start, bruh.
Stay away from the bridges. Stay away from
The bridges?
Yeah, like there's like the Johnny, not the Johnny Mac, the one over here, a little bit further towards MacArthur and shit.
For real?
On Broadway, don't do it.
Damn.
There's a typical entrance. They look like storm drains. Go a little further, they're no longer storm drains. I'm telling you.
And there's people down there?
Yes.
And you said you met them?
I was forced to, but yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was when I was 16.
Yo, we got people living under us who have never seen the sun.
Blink Twice was a documentary. Yesterday I saw an interview with Day 26 and how traumatized they all were. But it was what Q said about the email that he saw that made everything click. Basically, he said that there was an email that was addressed to Diddy that he saw that traumatized him so bad he has to take mental health medicine in his arm for the rest of his life.
From an email? What?
Then he said he doesn't know why everyone around Diddy is pointing the finger at him when they fail to mention that they're the exact same, if not worse. He even went as far as to say as things were getting too sacrificial and he refused to speak any further. Then I thought, Blink Twice was a documentary. Slaughter King, Diddy. Super charming, handsome billionaire that has SA parties and so much, you know what, that people will not remember anything. Then there's Lucas, victim or perpetrator. Sounds a lot to me like Justin Bieber. Last and not least, it was that final scene with Frida that plugged everything. Frida is, oh bruh. I cannot believe it took me so long to puzzle this all together. Bruh.
Children are born in the house. You feel me? My children are homeschooled. Okay?
You don't take them to the hospital or none of that?
Nah, but I'm not extreme. So if it was necessary, I would, but it hasn't been necessary. You know, one of the things, I mean, we gotta look at the hospital, just to detour a little bit. They'll have would you lay down to defecate? Like if you had to use the bathroom and you get closer and closer to your house and you're like, man, it's starting to really come out. Would you then go to the toilet and lay down to try to make it come out? No, you wouldn't. You would squat. That's kind of like what we do when we're on the toilet. But now here's a woman that's supposed to give birth to a child in the medical institution where all these people with certificates are going to turn around and tell that woman to lay down, to go against gravity and compromise the integrity of her spine, all right, and then want to induce labor, all right, and give her epidurals. And if the child is born inside of 30 to 45 minutes from the time of that shot, then the child comes out, the eyes closed, we thinking it's perfectly normal, but the child is drugged up. That's crazy. But we could go to Egypt, like I went to Egypt, and I went to the world's first hospital, Temple Philae, and you see all over the walls, the women squat and do not go against gravity. But they were the ones that's considered to be incompetent. But today in contemporary science, we got women still laying down. And even the placenta, because I delivered my daughters. I didn't cut the placenta when the baby came out. We let the afterbirth come out. And we let the placenta continuously contract so the rest of the stem cells could get to the child, which would diffuse the potentiality of the child actually getting sick. And it heightens that child's consciousness. Absolute fact. My daughter was 4 years old speaking 4 languages. My Hotep Tumre. So, but we cut it the second the child was born. And if we were to go to the hospital right now and say, I would like to keep the afterbirth, they would give us hell. We would have to sign all sorts of applications and everything just to have entitlement to something that comes out of that woman's body. We would actually sign off papers if we had to go to the hospital for people that tell, make sure you get your placenta, make sure you get your afterbirth. They will give you hell to do that. Why? Because it has so much DNA and so much of those stem cells that's used to cure people that come from a different demographic, who have more genetic implications, right? And they use us as the fountain of youth. It's no different from Henrietta Lacks, the oldest woman on planet Earth. They've been still using her cells from the time she was alive decades ago, okay? Henrietta Lacks, they use her cells to create the remedy and the cures for several of the diseases that we are subject to today as a black woman. And we look her up and we'll see they've been using her DNA from the time that she died without the permission of her family to cure people of other races. Henrietta Lacks, you can look it up. So the reason why I don't take my children to the hospital, the reason why I suggest, we have doulas and midwives. Do it at home. It's because, for one, you don't want to be exploited genetically and financially. Because anything that has a certificate on it, like a birth certificate, has a QSIP. And a QSIP is a Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedure. And the key word is security. And the security is a paper certificate that attests to ownership and equity, as in the case of a stock, or ownership of a bond, as in the case of a debt obligation, which has tradable derivatives, which means it can be sold in the stock market. So all this merely means, if you have a death certificate, you have a birth certificate, you have a marriage certificate, somebody is making money. There's already been a promissory note. There's already a promise what this person is going to make. And your failures cost money. Your failures make people money. Like, if you get married and you have over $15,000, $20,000 in back taxes due, they won't allow you to get a divorce. Now, what part of your marriage said that in a contract? You feel me? That means the state is making some money off the situation. So that man could be abusing you. You could be on the verge of dying in that relationship. You ain't going to get that divorce if you owe too much property taxes. You didn't know that when you married him, that was part of the implication, but it has a QSIP on it, a Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedure. And the word security intimates that there's a debt obligation. So you can't be brought into this world without someone monetizing it. You can't die without someone monetizing it. You can't get together without someone monetizing it, because we go into the legal context of law, we'll see that the word minority means what? An adult that thinks in an adolescent state of mind, that needs a third-party medium to help them facilitate. Under normal circumstances, they wouldn't. So you are acting in your minority. It's a dichotomy to the words that we use. So we may use the word minority and think that it loses a percentage, but when we're dealing with law, we see the word minority means that you're an adult that can't make decisions on your own, so you need someone to marry you. You need someone to send you to Allah or to God or to Jehovah or Yahweh Shai or Yeshua. You need somebody to bring you into this world, because you can't do it yourself because you're too incompetent. So for that reason, in addition to the health implications, a child being in the womb of a mother for 9 months, darkness, then to be subject to lights that do not biologically embed. Sunlight grants us intelligence, and it communicates higher thoughts and frequency to us, which empowers the body to be able to facilitate in ways that is most conducive and progressive for the human body. But to bring a child out of darkness for 9 months, conception, and a woman has to go through 3 perfect ovulations for her to even be able to conceive. So 3 months inception, 9 months conception, 12 months totality. That child is born from darkness, subject to all these bright hospital lights. That's wicked. You know how you feel when you're in a dark house for a long period of time, and then you go out and the sun is there? You get this headache. Imagine how the child feels when the child is born after being submerged in the darkness of the mother's womb, only to come out to these bright lights and to be held by someone that's not even the father, someone that contributed to the birth of the child, but to a stranger. And then this woman cannot keep her child long enough, because then she got to go on maternity leave, so she got to go back to work, right? So that psychologically plagues that child, because that child's not ready to let go of their mother, but she has to go back to work. So we have to work harder to get our women off the clock, because 6 months is not enough time for someone that stayed in the womb for 9 months and 3 months ovulation. Because when a woman is born, she's born with all the ovate cells she'll ever have. So when a woman is born, she's born with all the children she will potentially have. And she is a summation of all the stress incurred, all the damage and all the affliction that she may have had to endure. Our children are a summation of everything she experienced from the time she came into this world, which is why we teach that the black woman is God, and we got to protect and honor her. And we don't mean it that she created every single thing here. We mean she's part of everything that is here outside. So we got to respect our women. We got to understand whatever we do to her afflicts our children before they even conceived.
Yo. Eyes was glued.
I'm gonna show you something right quick with the word planet, and they put it right in front of your face, and nobody has taught you this. I can guarantee you this 100%. And if somebody take this, you already know where this came from first, so you already know they jocking, and we ain't gonna trip about it, because you already know how they ride the wave. Plane. You know what a plane is, right? Plane, not the one that you fly. Plane, infinite plane. Or what you want to call the zone, the realm, and then the T, right? Plane, terrarium. And I'm going to show you what a terrarium look like if you don't know. Plane, terrarium. Excuse my M, because I'm a handicap in this hand too. Plain terrarium, right in front of your face. So they done told you a whole damn lie about what we living on, and y'all don't get it, man. The source is in front of your face. God gives me these downloads, and I put it right out here to you, just like that. I've been up thinking so long, and this is what I came with, right here, right in my face, right in your face the whole time. Stop playing with me, man. And here's the terrarium. Remember, common sense in the sermon never falls from trees, nor does it grow from one. Stand on business when you stand on business like I do, man. Because it's right in front of your face. They told you the truth right in front of your face, but lied at the same time.
Yo, a plain terrarium.
Adult Swim is getting sued for coming after one of the most predatory industries in the world. This show is exposing secrets that they don't want you to know about. Watch this.
Okay, just go with me for a minute. What if there were a medicine that could heal, like, almost anything?
Well, yeah, that would be great, sure.
Yeah, right? But what if they didn't want you to know about it?
They? Sorry, who's they?
They is Big Pharma. It's the insurance companies, the government. Think about all the people who make tons of money just from keeping us sick, by keeping us unwell.
And they are walking on thin ice because they took this guy's podcast down for saying something similar.
Most people, especially young people, probably don't realize that they're walking around right now at about 55%, maybe 60% of their true state of normal. There is an element missing from their body that if they knew what it was, would make the difference between them being an average person and being a superhuman.
What supplement? Don't end your sentence there, Gary.
So it's called L-theanine.
And then I found this Shark Tank clip that literally confirmed everything he was saying. Watch.
How long does it take to be effective? 5 to 10 minutes. So the people who try our product really love it.
Ryan, I gotta tell you, I am so friggin' hyped right now.
What they are chewing on is called NeuroGum, and they're the first company to combine caffeine with L-theanine, which studies have shown to put you in a flow state and enhance your cognitive function. Whenever I chew this stuff, it's like the world around me disappears and I'm actually able to focus on what needs to get done. Sometimes I'm so in...
Okay.
It really takes some weeks to restock.
Council, pay very close attention to what you see happen next. I'm going to show you guys some examples of superpowers activating right now.
Oh, snap.
Here we go.
Y'all ready? Oh, snap. She was out. What the heck?
Did you guys see that? Shorty snapped his finger and pointed at homegirl, and she just planked out. That was not pretend. Tell me what you think. Hey,
yo, what? Ain't that like boiling? And they just touching the side of it and everything? Yo, ain't no way.
Now, council, what do you think of that? Homie stirring the hot oil with his hands. And it gets even better. Here is the piece de resistance. This drunk guy sleeping on the train tracks, council. The train runs him over. Family, the train runs this cat over. He doesn't die. He doesn't get split in half. He should be half a person. Dude literally gets up and just walks it off. The people are amazed. Everyone's shocked. Even the police are out there taking pictures of this cat. Everyone wants a selfie. Again, council, the activation is already happening. It's an organic, natural thing. If you didn't pollute your DNA or rewrite it with any Jabberwockies, You're naturally gonna get enhanced by what nature's pushing right now. All these codes that we're getting is to turn us into the Ubermensch. This is what these demons were trying to stop. Imagine how powerful all these people you just saw are. And as long as they stay in the pattern and don't go astray, we're undefeatable. And believe me, that's what's happening. These powers will manifest in people as soon as these vampires try to jump out on them for real and grab them. This same cat is gonna hold one of them and break them in half. That same little kid is gonna blast them with his finger beam. Same way homie's playing in the oil, he can grab fire and stuff it down
Yo,
their
that's
throat.
crazy.
And you and I, we have the same abilities manifesting right now. Anything try to test you will get crushed. And this is proof of it. And I got more coming. Let's go.
Who claims he can summon UFOs on command. Pretty wild. So we sent Action News reporter Mike Delastrito to get the real story. But what he found shocked everyone and could leave you wondering, are UFOs real?
There's now UFOs.
That's right, and there is a Las Vegas guy making an extraordinary claim about extraterrestrials. So we sent Action News reporter Mike Delastrito to check it out. Mike?
All right, guys, just listen up here. This guy says the Old Testament, written in Hebrew, taught him how to summon UFOs. All right, he says he can also do this on command, and he adds he's been doing it for 25 years, keeping all of it secret until now.
These beings are here. They're here. They're just sitting right up there.
We met up with Prophet Yahweh, seer of Yahweh, at Doolittle Park off Lake Mead. We picked the day, we picked the time, and we picked the location. Everyone's gonna think you're absolutely nuts.
Well, I thought I was absolutely nuts.
Until he says he saw UFOs. Over the years, 1,500 of them.
Can we make it 1,501 today? What do you think? I'll try it.
He says the voice in his head told him to go public now, so we took him up on his offer, and we scanned the skies. Nothing but a few clouds. When the prophet started praying for a sighting, I wasn't exactly convinced.
I pray, oh Yahweh, that you send a sighting so that they know that I am not mentally ill. I am not a false prophet, like those who seek to kill me say I am.
I see something straight up.
Oh, brother, look at it. There it is.
You can barely see it, a white speck. Then another sighting.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Photojournalist Jonathan Hawkins locks in on it. Let's take a closer look here. It's an orange sphere that appeared out of nowhere. I call the boss with an unexpected change in my story. I can see it clear as day. In fact, it's bright.
I can't believe this.
It's moving pretty fast.
It's going to Nellis Air Force Base. It wants to be seen.
We called Nellis to see what these things might be. Guess what? They didn't call us back. But this thing started coming back toward us. It's coming toward us now, I think.
What?
See, it's coming up toward us.
Whoa, man! Oh, hallelujah!
Then, a few seconds later, it disappeared.
It's going back up in space.
Prophet Yahweh isn't concerned. He says it'll be back. And I'm still not quite sure what those things were. Now, if I didn't see this for myself, I probably would have just laughed this whole thing off. Prophet Yahweh says, though, this is just the beginning.
What do you see happening in
That's
2020?
wild.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Hey, Cat Williams be dropping gems.
How the fuck did this vintage cartoon hide this message in plain sight with no one noticing? Just watch this shit.
Shut your pie hole. Or what? Ranger Rick, you gonna shoot me?
I can do that.
What we think we know is that there's some kind of electrochemical communication between the roots of the trees. It's more connections in the human brain. Get it? It's a network. It's a global network, and the Navi can access it. They can upload and download data, memories, at sites like the one you just destroyed.
You guys hear about those fires in Chile? It happened in Vina del Mar, eerily similar to what happened in Maui. So you know how Lahaina becoming the first city in Hawaii to be a smart city? Vina del Mar was the headquarters of smart city business for Chile.
No way.
These fires, same scenario. High winds, no warning, a lot of people died. And I saw a video today of this dude who was like going through the wreckage of like a little outskirt of Vina del Mar, and there was a blue house completely unburned.
No way.
And I don't know if you've heard about this whole thing with the conspiracy of the direct energy weapon, but lasers cannot burn the color blue. So in Hawaii, everything was just like burnt to a crisp. Like cars were like melted. but yet there's like just blue umbrellas, just completely unburned.
I have family who like walking through the area, and they literally said their warehouse is green and blue. All the green ones are scorched, all the blue ones are still standing and fine.
But a weird connection, fires in Maui. That day there was a satellite right above Maui. Guess who owned that satellite? CERN.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And a couple years ago, CERN discovered what they called the fifth force of nature called cosmic energy.
Yo, what? Yo, what is this? Protest? That's crazy. Some type of protest. Wonder where that was at.
You know, they got the drones that look like birds.
What? He said he got a drone spying on him.
Come on now. Come on now.
Look at it just floating there.
I know I'm a powerful person and I'm in the motherland, but y'all could get the fake drones look like birds from over here. It just dipped and it came back. Y'all tell me, is it a drone or is it a bird? Y'all tell me.
Drone or bird? Drone or bird?
I know I'm handsome. I know, but is that a drone or a bird? You tell me, guys. You guys tell me.
I'm up just chilling. Look, that's crazy.
You guys tell me. Talk to me, guys. You guys tell me. It's been hovering 15 minutes. You guys tell me what you think.
Why is every male idol nose damaged and female noses are still intact? I wonder. They even had fashion back then. How was this done 2,000 years ago?
Have you guys ever heard of Death Mountain in North Russia?
Death Mountain?
This is probably one of the craziest connections, connecting a lot of stuff that we've talked about on the podcast. It's a very ancient, tall mountain, like one of the tallest mountains in the region. It's been a very spiritual place. The ancient tribesmen, the Sami tribes, they say that it's actually a place where these giants used to live, and there's this giant flood, and these evil giants who they say came from the fallen gods went to this mountain to escape the flood. Some of them went into the earth, but they believe that there's the spirits of these evil giants still roam on this mountain today. There are 16,000 of these giant boulders, like megalithic boulders, that are bouncing on smaller rocks. These boulders were placed by the giants, and they act as a portal to another realm. So they say that these giants are actually very hard to, because they could go to these portals and escape into the spiritual realm.
Dude, is that what Bigfoot is? Just a hairy giant?
Dude, it makes you think. I mean,
my boyfriend has a Neuralink.
Wait, what?
I know that there are 3 people, I think it's 3 on record, who have the Neuralink because it's not publicly available. but he has got to be in a, like some top secret beta testing group. We were just on a road trip, and he must have blacked out and forgot that I was sitting next to him in the car, because not on a call, nothing like that. He starts doing stuff like this.
Yo.
It went on for a while, and finally I just was like, you got a Neuralink? And I thought that he would think it was funny, but instead he got really defensive. Why would you say that? Like, bad acting. So I don't know, he drives a Tesla. There's something going on. I'm not a dummy. I feel like I'm in an episode of Black Mirror, to be honest with you.
Yo, she got a little android boyfriend.
Louisiana is its own country.
True.
And you just mean this in like a...
It's its own country.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Louisiana Purchase?
Oh, no, okay, hold on.
Everywhere else they have counties. Louisiana has parishes. It's owned by France. We're under Napoleonic law.
So you feel like, like
I don't feel
you
it's
know
its own
Louisiana country.
Yeah, it's its own country.
All right, shit, fuck it.
He just didn't want to believe him, I guess.
This is where it gets really freaky. I got goosebumps. I'm scared, bro. From Albert Einstein, it says, I'm not sure which weapons the Third World War will be fought, but the Fourth World War, they will fight with sticks and stones.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Day one of AI taking over, it was contained to its own server. The AI figured out with like a Roomba vacuum, that's the only thing it could figure out how to connect to. So it put all of its information onto the Roomba computer, and then that allowed it to connect to the Wi-Fi, which allowed it to connect to everyone's phones, everyone's laptops, and then it spread instantly across the whole world. It was in control of 3D printers, of manufacturing things to help build itself.
Yeah.
But it was doing it silently with no one knowing, because it was just staying under the radar until the one time, it was like 40 days into it, it decided, I don't want humans anymore.
Dude.
It like went into this whole thing to where shut down the power plants. It messed with like the Wall Street, like finances, people, just chaos. Developed its own killing drones to survey all of Earth. Like if a human was found, it would kill it. And he's like, obviously the story is made up.
Yeah.
He said the story was made up by AI when I asked it to make up a story of how it would take over.
Just a hypothetical. Lily, are you doing okay?
Yeah, that's wild.
Understand why 11 can't be 1E1. We got 22, 33, 44, 55, but 11 can't be 1E1? That really pisses me off.
1E1.
Now remember I said that the stores that are in like uppity, well-off areas, they have better prices. So what I did was, we were going to do Instacart, and I was like, no, it's a nice day. I feel like taking a drive, so I'll go get the groceries. We'll just use the Instacart to put the items on there, so kind of like making my list, right? But the Instacart account is based on my zip code in Aurora, right? And so is my Safeway app, right? So the stuff I put on my list in the Safeway app has a certain price, right? Nowhere did it say anything was on sale. It's just what I expected, right? So for example, I wanted to get these fish sticks, right? And they were like $10, $11 for like a big bag or whatever, right? So tell me why I get to this Safeway, and then I go into my app and I change the zip code and choose this store as my store, and all of a sudden there's deals popping up that I didn't get when it was set to Aurora. And it's like, what the hell? And not only that, this type of shit. Do you see all these buy one get one frees? Everything down here is buy one get one free. Buy one get one free. Buy one, all these buy one get one free. And on top of that, do you see the $10.59 price? That is the regular price, right? That wasn't the regular price in the app when I had it set for Aurora. It was like $11, $12, like a $2 difference or whatever. So it's like, y'all really playing in our face right now. I had to drive 15 minutes away from my house just to get better deals. Like, this salmon was on the list, right? Now this was $15 at the other Safeway. Tell me why this member price got it for $11.99. That wasn't the regular price in the other store. Same fucking store. Why is all the prices different? This right here, these are on sale for $2.77, and you see them as soon as you come in the store. They're right there in the front of the store. These right here, $5.49 each. These are buy one get one free. Buy one get one free. They got a special deal for strawberries. These are $1.77. Limit 3. You know, a part of me feels very offended. A part of me feels very offended, but then there's another part of me that I feel satisfied because it's like I cracked the code. Cracked the code on that ass. So now we gonna have to take extra trips here because I wish I would. That should be illegal. Okay? That should be illegal.
Let's talk about the fact that
That's crazy.
Let's talk about the fact that Seattle literally had to tear down mountains in order to build the city. People jokingly compare it to literally building the pyramids. The fact that this feat happened in America and it could definitely not happen today. It's like the greatest reshaping of topography we've seen. And yes, this picture of these giant mounds, these 100-foot bloops, are places that they couldn't tear down because people were still living on top of there and they hadn't signed the proper paperwork. Okay, let's go back to the end of the 1800s. We got a bustling port city, but it had a big problem. There was a huge hill in the way that got in the way of expansion plans. Let me introduce you to Denny Hill. It was about 220 feet high. It was a pesky pimple on Seattle's otherwise smooth complexion. It was separating the downtown from the northern neighborhoods. So this guy, Seattle city engineer Thompson, you know, a man with a plan and a shovel, looked at the hill and said, we gotta level it. We gotta start digging. So the first phase of regrading the city and tearing down this hill started in 1908. They used these hydraulic mining techniques that pumped 20 million gallons of water daily from the nearby Lake Union. And these high-pressure jets just blasted the hill. So it was a huge, muddy mess, and approximately 6 million cubic yards of earth were just, like, slushing away. Okay, but don't forget, this is a big hill. There were over 400 homes and businesses on this hill. So people weren't pleased about having to pay to be displaced from their home and then have to rebuild 100 feet lower than before. Some of the pictures you see of these little mounds, that actually wasn't the people that refused to move. It was this one guy who owned property but was in Alaska, so he couldn't sign the papers but he came back and then they could blast the mounds down. Anyway, in total, they ended up removing about 38 city blocks, and today it is a bustling neighborhood called the Denny Triangle.
I am curious to know how they did all of that in the 1800s. Clearly, they were on like horse and buggy, and there wasn't that many people in those pictures. I didn't see too many power tools. They're talking about they sprayed it with water. You able to move mountains with the water. What's this?
No sign of anybody, no people, no dogs. It looks like all the signs have been removed as well. It's just totally cleared out.
That's crazy. Where was this? LA? Any ideas where that was?
Wouldn't it be crazy if you're a victim of one of the biggest scams in human history? The US dollar is backed by nothing. And like you have to buy oil with American money. So the rest of the world is also a victim here, not just Americans. And wouldn't it be crazy that every day you go to work for your money, the Federal Reserve prints more? And that simultaneously means that the money you're working for is worth less as you're working for it. The very idea of the Federal Reserve was concocted in a secret meeting held on Jekyll Island back in November of 1910. And it was just top financiers, bankers. They made this up, not politicians. You see, back then, before, the US dollars could be redeemable for gold. Like it was backed by gold. That's what that means. And wouldn't it be crazy that in 1933, with the passing of Executive Order 6012, the American government confiscated all the gold. And I guess it'd be kind of crazy if during COVID in March 2020, there were new policies passed. And these new policies made it so that any bank within the Federal Reserve System does not have to keep reserves in their vaults or anywhere. They don't need to have reserves. So they're giving you money they don't have. In the heat of the financial crisis of 2008, it is estimated that every dollar that was in a bank had been loaned 150 times. Furthermore, borrowers, so like big companies and rich people, hedge funds, yada yada, real estate probably, the top tier borrowers get access to the freshly printed money before everyone else. So what does that mean? They get it at a lower rate when the money's worth more, and then they will, lend it out. It gets dispersed into, down to the rest of us scum. But that effectively means that by the time you get around to paying these people back, you're paying them back with money that's literally worth less value than it was when you got it. Nothing's changed, just your money is now worth less because of inflation. So it's actually not that crazy for me to sit here and tell you money's not real, but we all need it.
Yo, wouldn't it be crazy? It is crazy chasing a dollar that keeps devaluing every single day, a dollar that they print every single day, but we stress about it every day. Man, wouldn't it be crazy? I think we all been bamboozled, haven't we? But yeah, guys, these are some of the most creepy and strange TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.